Jonathan Storms. I'm the director of the Family Resource Youth Service Center at Dawson Springs Independent School District.
Can you give me the name and description of your organization?
We're commonly known as FRYSC. If anybody here in town knows that, and that's what we're affectionately called, that acronym. I'd like to sometimes spell it out so that people really know who we are. We are the Family Resource Youth Service Center, and that's a lot, so sometimes that gets blended in with FRYSC, but that's where we are.
What's the history of this organization?
FRYSC was initiated with CARA, the Kentucky Education Reform Act, which I think happened in 1990. So we're just 31 years out now. I was in 4th grade when CARA came in here, right up at Dawson Springs School there, in the SIS class. And I remember some of the beginning of that. I didn't remember what FRYSC was, and I went to school here until 2000. It started out, I think, as a helping agency in the school with the Family Protective Services, and it developed into a lot of things. Right now we help with mental health, we help families connect resources in the community, in the county, in the state. We are a resource. We have a Rolodex that is deep, and we have people that we can call. What we like to say, we'll do whatever it takes to make the playing field at school level for each student, no matter what money you have when you go home or don't. And so I could go on and on and on, but there's a lot to do at the school, and we're doing that part of it. We're trying. Everything that you do for a student, I kind of think is impactful to them in some way. Obviously, the Band-Aid with whatever the Elsa or whomever is the character of the day is exciting for that student, but when you talk to the mother who's at her wit's end and her utilities are about to be disconnected or something like that, and we can connect them with a vital resource in the community that can provide that kind of stepping stone to get them through that, and also while doing so, teach them how to get out of that obstacle themselves. We have a lady that called us in an instance like this, and she said, God bless y'all, everything I ask for, you all are like Santa Claus. And I was thinking, well, I don't know about that, but we're picking up and calling Hopkins County assistants, we're calling the Rotary Club, we're connected to other people. Here in Dawson Springs, I think that FRYSC has a good name in such a way that if you were to go out for the bank, these ladies that work here with the patrons, go out into the parking lot, I think people would be able to tell you the stories of how FRYSC, I don't know, changed their life, but twisted them in a turn just that got them back in the right direction. This last commencement we had, one of our honor students mentioned our FRYSC, and myself and the program assistant by name as helping them, and I kind of thought, really, I'm amazed. But he was committed to academic excellence, and will be someone we're proud of in Dawson Springs, I'm sure, for all of his life. So they're out there, the success stories are out there. I wish I had more testimonial, but I would encourage people just to ask around about, if you don't know what FRYSC, or if yours is just a family resource office or a youth service center, to get acquainted with that coordinator and see what's going on there. I hope that it continues to thrive in each kind of situation, in each era of FRYSC. I think that as it sort of spread its wings, it got to know what issues were in the school. I think probably when I was in school, teachers were probably, there was less poverty in this area. Teachers were probably just getting into their own purse or billfold and taking care of the 2 or 3 students in each class that didn't have what they needed to have. I'm not sure. Now there's a larger scale problem, and I think in each level that the FRYSC has pushed themselves in the direction of doing whatever it takes. They've not only filled that gap, they've educated the coordinators and got into the psychosis of the problem, to not just band-aid this problem with this particular student, but to help the family fix it, go back to where the root is and fix it. And it's fascinating. I've only been here for 3 years. I can't imagine that in 30 years what this program's been able to do. I will be excited to watch and hopeful that they continue to climb at the rate they do. If you were watching a line graph, we'd be going up a mountain quickly right now. And I think that if we can keep that same pace at 60 years out, I would love to see the video of the success stories then, because last year was our 30th, and I mean, it was a get your Kleenex box ready. It was 30 years, it's done a lot. If we can continue to doing that, we're doing what we're supposed to. We are funded through the Cabinet for Family and Protective, I shouldn't say that because I always get that acronym wrong. We are funded through the state funding source. We're not through the Kentucky Education Department. So we have a grant for our center. But we also get a good amount of in-kind donations and financial contributions here as well. We couldn't do everything that we do on the state grant funding, but partnerships and contributions from businesses and individuals also fuel that.
What activities?
We kick off school with the Back to School Bash. We go through the year. The Back to School Bash provides school supplies throughout the years in that year, and that continues. And we kind of are like the free store, I guess. We get somebody that needs a notebook or this or that. We go from there to we're in Red Ribbon Week and Kentucky Safe Schools Week, so we're doing awareness things like that right now about the ills and ails and consequences of drugs and bullying and all that, and how that we can become aware of that at an early age and maybe decide that's not something that we want to do. We partner with agencies like the University of Kentucky's Dental Services, who are in our buildings. We're in there last month and will be again throughout the year, that are doing routine things, not extractions or surgeries, and they'll send referrals for that. At Christmas and Thanksgiving, we'll be giving away food to families. I think 40 families every year are provided with turkey and the goods that you would make a Thanksgiving dinner. And at Christmas, there are, of course, about 150 and sometimes more that are adopted through our Christmas adoption program and the holiday assistance. It goes from there to Reading Across America. We've honored heroes for 9/11. I don't know, the list goes on. Tomorrow I'll get something that I'm supposed to do, and I hope I'm not late to that one. Let me think about that in a second. We have been in a locked campus. I've always said the best thing that anyone can give us is our time. We are in need of volunteers, and that's something that we can't even really ask for right now, because we were used to be a hive of people coming in and out of school, mothers and fathers and grandparents and people doing this and that. We gave out these symbolic checks that I'm sure some of the volunteers would love to come down and cash what their time was worth. And we have sure seen that in the last couple of years, because some of the things we could do it without them, but I mean, it was definitely, I wouldn't say blood, but maybe close, and sweat and tears that went into it without them, and we were even more grateful for them then. So I'll be happy for that. We also are always in need of things like paper and pencils and these kind of things, but there are some also clothing and toiletries and things like that we also give out. And prayer or thoughts that you whatever you choose to do, or however you feel about that. The school system and the students need that, and they need your encouragement. If you see them out in the dollar store or the businesses or out in the community, being a part of just saying hi and noticing your neighbor, I think, is an encouragement that goes with them throughout. And they might not want to let you down, and that might be what gets them to the next step. They are our future. We are investing in them in any way we can, and just from seeing them every day, they are so worth the investment. I can tell you that. So we just need you to continue to be there for us as you have. We are helped through the Hopkins County Happy Feet each year, and this organization is just amazing. I don't know what there's so many things that I could say, but you know, the song "I've Got My New Shoes On," and it's like a different day for you, you know, it is for me. And it's just like getting your hair cut. I'm getting my hair cut today, and I don't have new shoes on, but I wish I did. It's just, wow, you look down and you see that. This organization gave 141 of our students this year a new pair of shoes. They walked into the gym, and there's racks everywhere from Shoe Sensation. The Shoe Sensation staff are there, and they sit down in a chair, and the staff fits them and tells them to walk around and look in the mirror and all these things that we do at the shoe store. These kids are not going shopping. Some of them, I'm surprised even still that they don't ever do that at all. I think this will help us support that agency in a way that we should have always, but we're not gifted with such generosity, and we're just all sort of part of the village that is getting these kids to higher education or wherever that path is for them. And I hope that that's what we're able to do with this. If you're associated with the school through a student at all, whether it's your neighbor or your child or your grandchildren, talk to your family resource person about that, or the teacher. There's some need in each class. There's different levels. Now, I do know there's always some things that I think, well, golly, I shouldn't ask for that. It's sort of greedy, but earbuds and things like that. I mean, those are not a dime a dozen, but they kind of, in the active world of our children, they don't last forever. And depending on what level of generous you are, it might be that their school supplies are at a different level than we know, or that you have access to something that we're not thinking of. So I'd say get acquainted with the teacher or the coordinator, and when we're able to invite you back into the building, come on back. Keep us in your thoughts and in your prayers and encouragement, and we will try to do the same for you. I mean, we can use your support and encouragement, and we can also use you just in a way that your time can offer to the school system. That was rambling. Come to Planters Bank in Dawson Springs today to purchase your Season of Giving gift set. It's for a good cause, it always is, but this time it's really hitting close to home with me, and we would sure appreciate that you stop by and get involved with this. I don't like that. I'm trying.